Right now, it is a complete mess for both US and Israel. In fact, this time, and I will show you the report in a second, US, they panic. They are panicking and they are not safe. And this oil field, Al Omar oil field, was attacked. And there are other locations that also came under attack. Now, the timing of it is very, very interesting. And this is happening, as we know, just a couple of days ago. Israel, they violated Iranian sovereignty, their airspace, and quite aggressively tried to attack Iran. Obviously, Iran is now considering of retaliation, but they do not even have to go to Israel. They can just sit at home and give these orders to the proxies to just destroy these military bases for both US and also Israeli military bases in Israel and outside Israel. Yes, they are now targeting Israeli military bases in Israel. You heard it right. Hezbollah is targeting Israeli military bases inside Israel. Now, I want to actually tell you the whole story. So back in the month of July, that was 2 months ago, this year, they launched an attack. So Iranian proxies, they launched an attack, or militia, whichever you want to call it. This is where they launched the attack. This is American military base in Baghdad has come under intense missile strikes, and this was reported by Reuters. Then also back in the month of November, which is last year, the American military base in Al-Hariri in Erbil, Iraq, was under fire of the resistance forces. So that military base was under fire. It says is under fire, so was under fire. So November you have one attack, then July one attack, but I do not have all the counts for all of the attacks that was carried out by the Iraqi resistance forces against US military bases. But what I do know is that these attacks are very frequent. They're happening almost on a weekly basis, if not daily basis. And right now, Iran is not going to let US go off the hook. And so what they do now is that they are now attacking US bases in Syria, in Iraq, and in also, I believe they will go into Jordan and try to infiltrate and try to damage, because this attack that took place at Al-Tanf, it is actually situated in the or you can call it tri-border location. So what do I mean by that is what I will discuss more in a second, so you know, because the location is very, very important. So in other words, what I'm trying to get you at is that the Hezbollah forces and Iraqi militias, or Iranian militias, they are now going to extra mile in order to launch attacks on Israel and US bases, and now they might even include Jordan, because I think Iran realized that Jordan is a big culprit who is helping Israel with all of these missiles that the attack they have launched against Iran the other night. And so Jordan right now is on notice, what I understand. But let's talk about what happened in Al-Tanf, then you will know the details. A United States base in Al-Tanf, an area on the Syrian, Jordanian, Iraqi tri-border, was attacked on Sunday night, according to Al-Mayadin. So Al-Mayadin is a Lebanese media. Concurrently, U.S. occupation forces at the Al Omar oil field base in Deir ez-Zor were also targeted, as Al Mayadin's correspondent also reported that a powerful explosion was heard in the area. U.S. military helicopters were also seen flying over the area. So powerful explosion. This is not just an ordinary attack. It was a powerful explosion. Now you can obviously say, well, it is because this is an oil field, so the explosion was very, very loud. You can argue, but at the end of the day, these are big attacks. On October 22nd, a barrage of 6 rockets targeted the U.S. occupation base at the Kunuku gas field in Al Deir ez-Zor, eastern Syria. Again, this is becoming a frequent attack. October 22nd, now you have another one at the same location, Deir al-Zura, and many other oil fields and military bases and those airports, or I should say airfield, that US is using will also be coming under attack. That's what it looks like. A field source told Al Mayadin that 4 rockets successfully hit their targets inside the military base at the Kunuku gas field in the countryside of Deir Azor, the source also confirmed that loud explosions were heard inside the U.S. military base. Now, this is what is important here to understand. These attacks were carried out inside of U.S. military base. So when I said they were panicking, they're running for cover, this is what I mean, because these attacks are coming to their doorsteps. Therefore, what do you do when you are being attacked in that fashion? Obviously, you run for cover. According to the sources, the rockets primarily targeted the radar station within the Kanuku gas field base. Shortly after, Al Mayadin's correspondent reported that the U.S. forces conducted strikes from Kanuku gas field. So this is strike, the retaliatory strike, if you like. Obviously, this is not a retaliatory strike from US's part, because they should not be in a different in a country in Syria. Why are they there? This is not their country. They are already violating Syria's sovereignty. But nevertheless, the reaction of US forces is something very, very noteworthy here. They immediately sent out choppers and helicopters trying to find out who caused that explosion. So it was really that bad. They wanted to take action right away. So Al-Mayadin said, our correspondent mentioned that the U.S. strikes targeted village, and so I'm not going to be reading the whole thing here, but what I want you to talk is also this one. So on the front of Iran and US, we are now seeing these escalations, and again, it's coming at a time when Iran accused US of helping Israel using Iraqi airspace to conduct those strikes against Iran the other night. And so Iran is not going to let US go off the hook so easily, even though US warned Iran not to escalate. But does Iran have to listen to them? Of course not. Now, on top of all of this, this diplomatic failure, this now insecurity that U.S. Army military they're facing in Iraq, on top of all of these things, to make things even worse, now we know IDF is also coming under attack, and 70 soldiers got killed, and 28 tanks in Lebanon got destroyed. Now, here is what makes it very, very interesting. So on one front, so Israel was fighting on 7 fronts, right? Now, because US is helping Israel fighting their 7 fronts, they're able to hold up, right? They're still fighting 7 fronts. If Iran decides to attack US itself, can US still help Israel the way they're helping them right now? Well, doubtful, because then they will have to stretch their military assets and mobilize it even more, and creating this need for Israel to get more weapons, more money from US, and at the same time not being able to fulfill those needs, because US will be spending more weapon and their intelligence on US itself. So Iran really has now a very good opportunity to really make Israel pay heavily. They are already paying heavily, but if they keep on attacking US bases, then I think it will be really very, very devastating for the Zionist forces and also for US military. But right now they are attacking, and Hezbollah is wreaking havoc. 70 plus soldiers got killed, as I showed you just now. And they have also published a new video now, so not video report, where they are now saying that 5 more soldiers got killed just few hours ago in Lebanon. And this is not any more hidden, unlike in the past where they would not open their mouth. The Zionist ITF forces, Israeli terrorist forces, they are very, very embarrassed and ashamed, admitting that they're losing their men on the fields. Why? Well, when I say man, I mean diaper army. Why? Because they don't want to be seen as weak. And so you never see that they are admitting their losses in Gaza. But they're losing soldiers. They have lost 3 soldiers 2 days ago. And that includes now the tally, almost 1,000 soldiers, including all high-ranking. I think there is like 10 or 15 high-ranking ITF military army personnels or terrorist personnels. The attack is intensifying. Israel is being defeated every single day. And then obviously what you hear from the media, from Zionist media, no damage, fell in open area, but nevertheless they're now coming out with all of these numbers and faces of casualties that are being inflicted on them in Lebanon and also in Gaza. So these are some of the pigs that got killed. And if you do not know, this guy, he's a very high-ranking official. I think his name is Steinberg. He's actually a very high-ranking official who got killed in Gaza, could not even fight Hamas. I mean, he could not fight men who barely has any weapon on them, but he gets killed. So this is the situation of the ITF army forces. And now Iran is also at the same time boosting their defense system, and they have now introduced a new air defense system because of the attack that came the other night. And the defense system they have right now, the one they are developing, is called AD-120. Now here is something very, very interesting. So AD-120 is actually a locally made Iranian defense system. In other words, Russia is not helping them. In other words, Iran is making it all by their, all on their own. And why I say it is interesting is because on the other hand, you have Israel begging US and its technology to be brought to Israel, THAAD missile system, and now they're actually investing $450 million to install a new laser beam radar system in Israel with the help of US, with the money of US. And if you compare that with Iran, they are making this air defense system locally. AD-120 is a good example. I actually want to share the footage here so that you know what I'm talking about. So this is the missile defense system, that AD-120 is a locally made stuff. Very, very cost effective at the same time. Doesn't cost them millions of dollars, but they do the job just perfect. The most important thing here is it shows Iranian, they know how to make these things. When the Zionist diaper army, they do not know how to make these things. They have absolutely no clue. And so what they do, they beg to US, they beg to UK, France, and Germany, and all these European countries, maybe not France right now, but this is what they do. So AD-120 is a high-range, high-altitude surface-to-air missile system designed to intercept a variety of airborne threats. I'm not going to be reading the whole thing here, but you get the point. What I'm trying to get to you here, guys, is that situation for both US and Israel is getting much worse. US now is facing this resistance, and the Arab youth, they are now joining in numbers these resistance forces at the moment. As we have seen, Jordanian youth, they are now raising up, and they are now joining some operations. But you get the point. They are now feeling that they have a responsibility, a moral duty now to go out and do something about this. What we will see next would be most likely Jordanian kingdom will fall apart, because Jordanians, they're rising up. They're realizing that these people in Palestine, the genocide they're committing in Gaza is something unforgivable, unforgettable, and they are acting. Guys, thank you so much for joining this session. If you have any more comments, leave a comment in the comment section. See you in the next video. Have